Whether you own or have rented in Ocean City, you've had to deal with Comcast Internet and Comcast Wi-Fi. They've had a monopoly on the island for a very, very long time. In today's video, I want to talk through an alternative that I found that I got so excited about. I tested out. I want to let you know exactly what I think about it and if I recommend it. So let's get into it. As much as it would be fun to draw you out, keep you on the edge of your seat, I don't want to do that to you. There have been a couple of other internet options like T-Mobile Wi-Fi, 5G, that have been on the island for a little bit. But this new option was actually through Verizon. I got a text. I'm a Verizon mobile customer, and this is not an advertisement for Verizon in any way, but I got a text from them saying, hey, look, we finally have service available in your area. Check it out. So this is all about Verizon in-home Wi-Fi, and it is 5G. And I got really excited, mostly because I'm tired of the annual Comcast battle of trying to get the bill down. So all we have in our house is Wi-Fi. We cut the cable a long, long time ago and haven't looked back. But this was a $25 a month offer. Speeds were identical to the Comcast plan that we had set up, and it was going to save us about $70 a month, which over the course of any period of time is phenomenal, especially if the service is going to be comparable. And I know specifically internet service, if that would be comparable, but I know personally that in-person experience and customer service is better on the Verizon side, in my experience, than I've ever had with Comcast. So I got excited. So as soon as I got that text, I cut Comcast off, I ordered Verizon, and it was there in a couple of days. And it is this white little cube, and it really blended well with the desk that I had where I had it located. You didn't need a router. You didn't need any extra equipment. This is literally, it comes in a box. You plug it into the wall. Voila, you are basically good to go. So I got really excited about that. And as you all know, in the summertime, and here we are recording this video in June, things get bogged down on all networks. And I was a little bit concerned about that. So that's why I was glad I got to test this out really through the months of April and into May. And I have to be clear with you, I was very disappointed with the results. I had read nothing but great things about this Verizon in-home 5G Wi-Fi, and it was terrible. I honestly got better service, and I was very confused by this, and I'll explain why in a second. Hold on, I got to itch my eye, and I'm not going to edit this out. I swore this would be a one-taker, so you get it. I had thought that it would have been better, and I got better service. My wife got better service, different devices, different locations in the house. Everything was better just on the traditional LTE or 5G network. We cut off our Wi-Fi entirely, which didn't make any sense. So I looked into it, and this is the really important thing that I want you to know. So these in-home Wi-Fi and 5G networks, at least the way that Verizon's is laid out, they actually are second tier to the traditional mobile carriers and mobile plans. So even though it's the same network, those mobile users get priority. And if anything is getting priority to your service, it's obviously going to lack at some point. And the fact that ours was lacking in the middle of the night sometimes in April and May, what was it going to look like in the summer during peak season? I probably would have had no signal. Everything would have stalled out. And that simply can't happen for my business, for my personal life. It really wasn't a good fit. So fortunately, there was a 30-day money-back guarantee. And again, this $25 was if you are an existing 5G Verizon plan member or customer, whatever you want to call it. So there's a tiered structure after that. It's basically a bill credit that you would no longer get. But it is worth potentially looking into, maybe not in Ocean City, but in other areas, it may be a good fit. I know they kind of do this stuff for more rural areas where it's hard to get the infrastructure in place to have traditional cabled Wi-Fi like Comcast Xfinity is here. And again, Comcast and Xfinity are the same thing. I know people get confused by that, but long story short is this was not something that I would recommend. I was very excited to have an alternative, and it really was a letdown. And it wasn't something that, again, I tried resetting the modem several times. I did everything that I could think of to hopefully fix any glitch that was happening. But when I went to cancel this plan within the 30-day, I'll call it grace period or trial period, the rep was not surprised. There was no questioning. There was no trying to keep me on the plan. So I can only imagine that I was not the first one that had this type of experience. So again, it may be worth testing out in a different area. Feel free to test it for yourself. Again, $25 a month. What is there to lose? But I would not recommend cutting that relationship with Comcast just yet. Unfortunately, I know we're all dying for it, but that to me is still the best and only real option on the island. If you have any thoughts about that, again, if you have T-Mobile and you've had a great experience, if you've tried some of these, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, because people who buy and own here, live here year round, everybody wants a better option. So if there is something out there, I would love if you would share it with everybody, because, hey, if we're all better off in the end, we would be very appreciative. So thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, I will see you on the next one.